And welcome everyone. I'm Kaden Sledge.
I'm Walker Barnett.
And I'm Jacob Adams.
And welcome to the plug. Man, do we have a story for you today about the two
Absolutely.
Of course we
lovebirds,
do.
Vickie and Casey White.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, this is one heck of a story. These two just had to be so in love, and man, I hope one day I'm in love like these two.
Oh, me
were.
too.
Oh, of course.
Their love was pretty much inseparable with
I'm
the things they
telling
did.
The stuff they went through is just out of this world, and I'm saying let's just hop right into it.
Absolutely.
All right, so to get started off, Vickie was a well-known cop. She, like a bunch of people say, mother figure to all the cops. Nice
She
to 'em.
was. It's like, because, we live in Florence. This is
This
our
is
hometown.
this is our hometown where this all unfolded.
We live in Florence, Alabama, and that's so weird for me because I know our sheriff. I've seen Vickie White here before. It's just so weird to me to know that all this happened starting in my hometown.
Right. So, she well-known cop. She sold her house for $90,000 in cash. That is out of this world.
That's
to me.
a lot of money.
Someone came in and was just like, "I'll take the house." So she got out of here and ended up staying in a hotel in Florence. And then the next day is when it all went down. So they were caught on the surveillance camera of Vickie taking Casey out of the corrections place, whatever that thing's called.
Yeah.
Took him out, and Casey's just walking behind her like none of this is happening.
Right. Like she didn't even have a hand on him.
No, and I'd like to point out, Casey, if you look at all the pictures and videos, he is ginormous.
He's huge. Like, it's crazy. I'm 6'3", 390 pounds, and he is bigger than I am.
And he's just walking by her just
walking past. It's like, in the surveillance video, it kind of makes me wonder who's watching our surveillance cameras.
Exactly.
Exactly,
Because,
yes.
like, if she was taking him to another facility or doing something with him, she would have a hand on him so he didn't try to run away,
Yeah.
So
That just makes me
it's
wonder
weird.
the security of our courthouse
Yeah.
here in Florence.
Right, yeah. Our corrections center. I want to know who was watching our security cameras.
And so the day that happened when they left, they was supposedly going to a courthouse appointment that ended up not being true, and that is when they just fled and left. They ended up driving to an academy,
Yeah.
and left the patrol car and got in another one and took off.
They got into an orange Ford Edge that had a kind of a scratch, scuff kind of thing on the corner of it. And what makes it pretty sad is they went to the Dollar General and bought orange spray paint to try and cover it up.
To try to just, color this car.
That's funny to me. Like, why would you go get spray paint?
Spray paint was the last thing I would ever think of.
Oh, yeah, you've had trouble getting spray paint.
I've had trouble with spray paint. I've gone before and tried to buy some, and they wouldn't let me.
Oh, man.
But going on, they ended up going to Tennessee. That's where the Edge was found, broken down. I don't know what in the right mind told them to go to Tennessee, but that's where they went. If I was escaping, I'd be going down south, getting on a boat and leaving.
Getting out of here.
Getting out of the country.
Yeah,
yes.
but
it's only a day and a half to Canada.
exactly. But the orange Edge was found in Tennessee, so they had to have got a different car. And it went quiet for a few days, and then reports came out that Casey was found in a car wash washing his car.
In Evansville. Like, that's crazy to me.
Keep in mind that this dude is 6 foot and a bunch of pounds.
Right. I mean, the last thing I would have thought of is going to wash my car.
Right.
When I'm on the run and the U.S. Marshals are after me, the last thing I would do is go wash my car.
Right.
Right.
And so they were staying in a motel up there that you can now go stay in for $75 a night.
And the waiting list is pretty
Waiting
long.
list is long. And then that day is when it all went down. The law was chasing them for a total of 5 days until they made the plan to go in on them. And we have a 911 recording of them when the crash happened, when they were captured. So let's go ahead and get that.
Yeah,
played.
let's listen to the 911 recording.
John. Airbags are going off. Let's get out. Run. Hotel.
That's the recording. So, I mean, if I was on the run, I wouldn't be calling 911.
Well, here's the thing. The 911 call was during the impact of the car hitting something. So the theory is what if the car had a system in it that automatically called 911?
Like OnStar.
Yeah, like
or Blue
OnStar.
Link or
That could have
something
been
like
it,
that.
or they are now making Apple Watches today where if it detects a crash or a fall, it will call an emergency contact
Really?
for 911.
I did not know that.
So if she had an Apple Watch on, that could have been it. Nobody knows. But
Right.
when that crash happened, they got Casey out of the car, and there is a recording somewhere that you can find online of Casey coming out and saying, "Go save my wife."
Yeah. So when it was the body cam footage of one of the police officers that were there on the scene, and he just says while the police officer is walking past Casey said, "Go check on my wife. Go check on my
Yeah.
wife." And if you hear if you listen to the 911 call, when we just listened to it here, I kind of heard at the very end a really loud noise, like a gunshot.
So
You know?
after they pulled Casey out and he said, "Go save my wife," they all went in. The car was flipped over, and they did find Miss Vickie White turned over with a gun in her hand and her finger on the trigger. When all this happened and they didn't find Vickie and reports are coming out, they thought that Casey had done it because Casey has killed a lot of
He
people.
is a
Absolutely.
murderer.
He's a murderer.
He is
And
a
they thought
charged
that
murderer.
he pulled the trigger on her just to get his last kill in, but they did find the gun in Vickie's hand, and
Which led to it being a suicide.
the passing away of her, which I would like to get her side of the story, but
I
we
would
can't
too,
now.
right.
She has passed away about that, but they did get Casey. He was fine, and he has now been brought here. He is back here. I don't know, prison. I don't know. I haven't had the reports. Is he in prison?
He's he's in our corrections facility right now at the time of recording this. I know he's gonna have to go to a state prison. Like
Yeah.
there's no other thing that he would go to. He would need to go to a state or federal prison.
Now, let me point something out. When we mentioned him saying, "Go save my wife," so here's the theory. What if secretly they somehow found a way to secretly get married? I
They
mean,
could have.
they share the same last
Very
name,
possible.
and that would be a big coincidence.
The odds
if
of them having the last name
same
was
last
amazing.
name, yeah.
But yeah, it's one heck of a story for sure. In my opinion, it's going to be a movie one day.
I think it will.
It definitely would
Right
be.
now, that's all the story we have. I mean, it's an amazing story that's going to keep going in history for sure.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
I don't think we're gonna forget
I don't
about
think
this
we're going to,
story,
no.
especially
For sure.
since we live here.
Yeah.
And
for
I
sure.
think that the city of Florence could take this and learn and do a lot more things
Absolutely.
with
I think it
the
can
courthouse.
help a lot of small cities like Florence. I mean, I say we're small, but we have 48,000 people that live in this city. So I think other cities like us can look at that and just be like, okay, look where Florence messed up. Let's fix it. And Florence
Right.
can do the same. Look where, hey, we messed up right here. Let's add some stuff to do this.
for sure. So that's all I have for the story. Y'all got anything else to add on?
That's it.
Do not.
Well, we enjoyed our time with y'all today. Thank you for joining us to listen to this story. We hope to see you next time. I'm Kaden Sledge.
I'm Walker Barnett.
And I'm Jacob Adams.
And we will see you next time on The Plug.